baby. Welcome back to Guillotines and Guitar Studio here in Hartsville, South Carolina. But I'm not listening to you. We just got done with our guitar segment, which was Randy Travis's AI, new AI release.
Yep,
which was
AI
great.
in general.
What was the name of the song, though? I forgot.
When we're gone or when we're done.
Who was Windward?
We was windward. We was down windward.
It's not that.
Windward was gone.
It was something along those lines. But it was a great song. We enjoyed it. Now we're moving on to Guillotines.
I can't play. I can't do the stinger when that music's playing.
We're talking about Charles Manson on Guillotines.
I mean, I could just start over. Let's just go.
Guillotines. We're talking about Charles Manson and all the nastiness and the craziness and the mind-blowingness things that he did.
Okay.
But what did he do?
He mind controlled females.
Yeah.
He had 4 females. He said,
not only females, he had a male too.
There was a guy. Yeah.
There was a guy. There was a guy. That's correct. But it was a cult, and he brought them all in, and he talked them up.
I think I know cults have been around for a long time, but I think that was Charles Manson brought cultism, I think,
to the forefront.
Yeah, to the forefront of, where people knew what cultism was.
I agree with that. Now, this was obviously like before our time. This was early. I mean, when did this happen?
Yeah, I think the murders happened in
late 60s, right?
It was 69, 1969.
69, yeah.
I think August 9th, 1969 was the first murders of the actress
Sharon Tate.
And she was 8 months pregnant by Roman Polanski, who was a film director.
Yeah.
And I think he was away in Europe shooting a film. But she was there at her house, and I think there was 3 or 4 other people that she had over there. But I mean, it was if you want to back up and let's lead up to the story.
Yeah.
So let's try and paint the picture.
Yeah, we got to start because we have a bad habit of going forward. Let's just get to the end. Here's what happened last year.
Well, you carrying this thing? Go ahead. We're ready. Go ahead.
I knew Scott would be ready for this.
Well, no,
hold on, wait. I feel like we shouldn't go too far.
Oh yes, we shouldn't go too far.
I feel like before we go too far, maybe
we actually have went too far because we didn't christen this episode. We do that. Why are we doing that all the time now?
Well, if people watch our Facebook Live, they'd know why. They would know what happened.
So all you out there who don't know, we do a libation shot before each episode. And we have obviously forgot about this one. So Trey's got his rounds right here in his little crown bag.
All right, reach in there deep.
Why you gotta reach? Is it? Am I going to grab a mushroom? All right, so I got I got a buttery nipple.
No, those are good.
That's what I had last time.
I got the pineapple. Same thing.
This.
I got the same thing too.
This is the first time me and you ain't had the same thing
in like 3 weeks.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I rock and roll.
It's been such a long time.
All right,
that was terrible.
That was.
Please don't ever do that again.
All right, here's to Guillotines, Charles Manson.
That son of a gun had some booze in it, buddy.
Words of wisdom from John Bird.
Ooh,
yes,
John Bird knows what he's talking about.
So
all right, now we can go back.
So.
Oh, okay. So now let's
O.J. Simpson.
Yep.
was friends with. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Hold on. We got the coin set on the wrong thing.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
That's what I say.
Okay, so let's set the stage for what we're talking about. We're talking.
Go ahead.
Okay, we're talking about Charles Manson. Now, to understand Charles Manson, let's go back to his childhood.
Do you know about his childhood?
Okay, no, I'm kidding about it.
Well, I'm curious. Do you know about his childhood?
You have me excited, and all the listeners just now were.
I do know about his childhood.
Well, tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, let's go. I can cut it out if I don't like it. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Charles Manson was born actually to a 15-year-old alcoholic.
Let me check that.
Yep. And do you
1934?
Yeah, 1934. And
On November 12th, 1934.
But also, it was she didn't care too much for her child. There was actually she was in a diner, and wanted to. Yep. She had young Charles.
You want me to
Manson.
choke it? You spit it out?
No, she had young Charles Manson with her, a baby.
All right. At the firehouse.
No, she was in a diner, and
in the diner.
In a diner,
okay.
And had one of the waiters to come up to give her some more tea, and said, "Oh, that's a cute baby. You know, that baby is cute." And
well, you can have them for 25 cents.
Yeah, well, for a pitcher of beer is what she said.
Shit, I took that deal.
I believe that's what she said.
Chris would be like, "Hold on now."
She said, "You can have it for a pitcher of beer." And so the woman, because she was having problems,
I feel like I'm here.
Well, she couldn't.
I feel like I'm in this situation.
She could not have children, so she was like, "I want a baby, and that baby is cute." She went and got Charles Manson's mother a pitcher of beer. And when Charles Manson's mother finished drinking her pitcher of beer, what? She got up and left. She was like, "The baby is yours." Left.
Get
was gone.
the shit out of here.
Was
there
gone.
Ain't no way.
Now, this comes back to Charles Manson's uncle, which was the brother of
the boss.
Yeah, he was asking her, where is your child? And she kept, I guess,
lying.
Yeah, lying. And he was like,
he's at the grocery store.
He was like, where,
we went to the
7-Eleven. It's a baby, where's your child? And I guess she finally said where the child was. He went back and he went to the waitress who had the baby, who was planning on keeping the baby, and he was like, "No, we're getting the baby back. It's my,
like a refund."
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that's
thing,
why you laying this up.
I know, but the whole thing is crazy.
It feels like a grocery transaction.
But
I bought a bad vegetable. I want a refund.
I got this donut and this baby. Like, can I get full price back for both?
Yeah,
I did take a bite out of the donut.
I mean, it sounds like something like that. You know what I'm saying?
But it's crazy how that happened. But Trey, let me ask you something.
Oh, don't break me into this.
No, I want to bring you in. I want to get your opinion.
All right, I got you.
If you were sitting at that restaurant and you had a young mother who had a baby.
All right. Well, let's start over. Do I know the young mother?
No, you don't know her.
Okay. All right. That changes things.
You're sitting at the table.
Not really.
You're sitting at the table right behind her.
Okay.
Okay. You hear the waitress come up and say, "That's a cute baby you got."
To me, or
no?
I hear that to the mother.
No,
okay.
You hear this conversation.
I just want to make sure I'm following you 100%.
Yep.
Go ahead.
You're sitting there eating your meal. You hear a conversation behind you with a young mother, and she has her baby.
Okay.
And the waitress comes up. Now, this is behind you, so you're listening.
Yeah.
And she says, "That's a cute baby you got. You know, he is so precious."
Yeah.
And then you hear the mother say, "A pitcher of beer, and he's yours."
Okay.
All right. And then the waitress goes and gets a pitcher of beer and comes back.
Okay. Well,
and gives it to the mother and says, "Okay, here you go." Because I can't have children. I've been trying to have children, but I would love to have children.
okay. Well, so this is 1934. Things are obviously different than 1934. However, I don't think that people would just quickly, still even then, be that quick to just give you a pitcher of beer for a baby. But if I'm thinking about it now in my mind as today, and somebody says pitcher of beer for that baby, I would probably.
If I'm at Max
Can I
at
finish?
3
Can I
o'clock in the morning?
finish? I just went for so many minutes without you interrupting me until the end. No, if somebody said that behind me today, I would assume I would literally just probably not even think too much about it. That's a joke. That's somebody saying that's such a cute baby. I'll give you a pitcher of beer for it. To me, that sounds like a joke. Give me a pitcher of beer for the baby or whatever. I would totally write that off as a joke and wouldn't think twice about it. But this is 1934. I actually didn't realize it was 1934 when he was born. I thought it was later than that, but still, that's a different time, and I can't really see even 1934 them actually taking it serious and giving a pitcher of beer and saying here's.
Well, they did. The waitress actually gave her a pitcher of beer. She sat there and drank the beer, drank the whole pitcher, and then
she had to seal the deal.
Yeah, she drank the beer, and she told the waitress, she was like, "Okay, I'm going," and she left, and the waitress kept the baby. Then
times are so different.
I know it's when you hear it, it's like.
Yeah, because now
this couldn't happen.
Because Kevin and Max be like, "What's this baby doing behind the bar?"
No, it couldn't happen.
No, Kevin and Max eat all over Snapchat.
But I mean,
here's Kevin. Who baby it is?
But I mean, could you imagine this happening in today's world?
No, but I can't because like I said, like my first thought would be that was a joke. I was just being cute about I give you a pitcher of beer for the baby. But then I would also still think it was a joke, even if I heard the mother back here guzzling that beer,
but
until the very, you know what I mean? Like I would still think the whole thing was a joke. I would think that waitress just thought she was cute, or the baby was cute. That waitress just wanted to give. I'm gonna give you a pitcher of beer because I know you're a struggling single mother with this baby. Here's a pitcher of beer. Like all those things I'll be thinking about, not the fact that she's like serious about. I'll give you a pitcher of beer for the baby, and the mother's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but she was.
Do y'all know who Dennis Wilson is? Of the Beach Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know he introduced Charlie Manson?
To Sharon Tate?
No. He introduced Charlie Manson to the producer, Terry Melcher, in 1968. The Beach Boys recorded Manson's song, Cease to Exist, renamed Never Learn Not to Love. That's I did not. I just read that.
Charlie Manson has
freaking crazy.
He had some, I think, writing creds with one of the Beach Boys.
Yeah. This is all like the hippie days of the late '60s. The Vietnam War is going on. All this stuff is like there's a lot.
It was on the B side of the Beach Boys, by the way.
There's a very like tumultuous
you had to flip the tape over to hear the song.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You had to flip it over. Or you had to hit a third button on the 8-track player.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting. Well, I mean, Charles Manson had some. He started playing guitar.
Well, that's how he was so influential on his.
He had a lot of connections
on his followers.
Well, I don't think it was that. I think he was. I don't know. He liked to talk to young women and get them to follow into what he wanted them to do. Because I mean, all the girls who participated in the killings were, 1920, I think, 21, 22.
1920.
No, their age.
Oh,
they were 19.
That's Yellowstone.
They were 19. They were 19 or 20 or 21. I think.
Didn't the one girl just get out? Did I read that right?
Yep, in 2023, I think she got out.
Yeah, like last year. I want to say one of them.
She was the one who was.
She's one of our fans right now.
She was the pretty one, like but had the like. I hate to even say that because who knows what she did, but of the group, she was like one of the pretty ones.
Van Houten, was that her name?
That sounds
Van
right.
Houten.
Yeah,
What's her last name?
It was before Van Halen.
Yeah. Yeah, but she actually partaked in the killing of the La Biancas,
La Biancas.
Yeah, that was on the second night.
That's another. You actually just brought up a point that we want to make sure that we get clear. Charles Manson was never accused of killing anybody.
That's right. He really didn't. He didn't touch anybody.
No, and this is not me by any means supporting him.
It.
That's right. That's all he did.
Yeah.
He didn't kill anybody.
But the thing is, that the mass, I don't know what the word is. Everybody just assumes Charles Manson. A lot of people don't even know who these girls are and the guy.
Exactly.
They don't even know their names.
I'm with you. That's right.
I don't know their names. Everybody
like,
knows
Charles Manson.
Yeah, everybody knows Charles Manson, but listen,
was the guy.
But
Tex,
okay,
I don't know his last name.
My point is, I've never heard that. I'm sure I've heard it, but never remembered it. Everybody knows Charles Manson.
I'm with Trey. I don't know any. I know one of the girls' names, but that's it. I don't know.
Marilyn Manson called himself Marilyn Manson because of the Manson name. Nope. How many people named Manson? They probably changed their name just like somebody over in Germany changed. If they're related to that guy, they probably changed their name too. But everybody knows Charles Manson. Nobody really knows. The majority of people don't know the people that were associated, even back then, unless it was on the news. But everybody knew Charles Manson.
Good freaking point.
Everybody knew that
freaking point.
When the police or when the journalists went to the prisons to talk to people, they didn't go talk to. They did.
Hallelujah.
They did, but not a whole lot. But they always talked to Charles Manson. And if you wanted to be a serial killer on Halloween, you were Charles Manson, even though he wasn't a serial killer.
What? He didn't do anything.
You weren't one of the girls or the guy. But
the second night, Charles Manson.
You can't stop him. You can't stop him.
The La Biancas. He actually did
the La Bambas.
No, the La Biancas. He actually went to their house and helped tie them up. But he told them.
Well, obviously he was part of it. Yeah, obviously he's part of it. Everybody knew he was part of it.
Yeah, all we're going to do is rob you. And then he left, and he went back to his compound or whatever. And then the girls and the Tex, the guy, came in and killed him. So, yeah, Charles Manson never actually killed anybody. But he orchestrated these killings, But
what happened?
I wish a race war.
I wish we could get I wish we could call our parents into this because the Manson stuff was at when we were just coming up. So it was early age because it was the late 60s, early 70s.
It was. I think 1969.
You really want to parents involved in this? Because I can hear my parents right now. See, boy, you see them boy in the baggy pants. I told you wasn't no good.
Yeah. And then the Beatles come along with their long hair.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think the murder started in August of 1969.
Right. Yeah, but my point is the Charles Manson stuff was before our time, and we're old as shit.
Before we were born.
Yeah, we're old as shit. But before we were born, this happened. But we still know about it, and our kids know about it. Everybody knows who Charles Manson is. Nobody knows who the people are.
I remember watching videos of it, and I was like, it scared me because this was stuff that it was, you would think about, and you were like, how could this happen?
Well, we talk about it all the time. How people manipulate groups of people to do things. We talked about what was the Kool-Aid guy? I forget his name right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not the guy. The other Kool-Aid guy. No, but you know what I'm talking about. Jim Jones. Yeah. So we talk about
Jim Jones.
We talk about people a lot who manipulate groups of people to do things. Charles Manson's group was a smaller group. It wasn't 600 people to kill themselves. This was 3, 4, 5 people or whatever to for one person.
Start a
You know, he did this around a campfire. You know that, right? Around a campfire.
No, I wasn't there.
You know, 3 girls, 1 boy. It was around a campfire. He didn't murder anybody, but he controlled these people.
Well, he told them to go
and
out
what's
and
amazing that a jury convicted him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because he was the mastermind of it.
Well,
if I'm in a jury,
okay, I'm gonna come back to something you just said. Go ahead.
And I hear all this stuff, you know, like, okay, this dude told me to do this. As a juror, I'm like, you did this. He didn't. He just told you to do it. How did he get convicted? You know, there had to be some significant evidence to tie his ass into a sling, you know, to get life
because this is what he wanted. But you get what I'm saying, though? Yeah,
they physically kill people, but he didn't.
Yeah, even though he didn't actually go in and kill anybody, he was the one who said, he told the young girl, and most of them were, I think, 18, 19
Yeah, they was young. They were
young, and he manipulated them. He was like, this is part of the plan.
Yeah.
Go in and kill them and do it as brutally as you can.
But
because the murders were, I mean,
brutal. Yeah,
but very brutal.
But let me ask you this though: was it done? And this I legitimately don't know. Was it done in the name of a religion, or was it done in just the name of
I don't even know that.
Okay,
that we just this has to be done because this person is a bad person.
No,
like what was the backstory there?
He said.
Here's the backstory from what I can gather, and I don't know if this, you know, I'm gonna say this from what I've read and what I know about the whole story, and when I say that, from what I know about cops who were on the scene that night and everything, and people who have interviewed Charles Manson, here is what I think it was. Charles Manson wanted a race war between whites and blacks, and from what I can gather, and now this you know, it's just what I've read and I know. So I mean, not talking to Charles Manson or anything, so I don't know exactly from him.
We know you weren't there. You don't have to give a disclaimer.
All right, but anyway. So from what I know is that he wanted a race war between whites and blacks, and he was a big Beatles fan.
Yeah, I knew that.
Helter Skelter he thought was like the Armageddon song, like this is the call to arms right here. This song, Helter Skelter. He was like, it's the call to arms. It's telling me I need to initiate the war. So what we're going to go out and do is we're going to go out and kill white people. And we're going to try and make it like it was black militias.
Try to blame another race for killing them. Okay.
Yeah. And so...
I never heard that.
Yeah. And so he went to the first place that he told his followers to go to was to, you know, Sharon Tate's house. And that's because he wanted to be very public.
Yeah.
Something that would make news.
High profile.
Yeah, high profile killing. And one of the police officers, I watched his interview with him when he came on the scene, and I think
is this Sharon Tate?
This is Sharon Tate's home.
Okay.
And it was Sharon Tate, and she had a couple of people over, and there was actually, I think, somebody who delivered food or somebody who was leaving that when, who was not supposed to be there at the house, you know, they were there to drop something off or whatever, and they were leaving. They were the first casualty because they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. They were coming out the house as Charles Manson people were going in, and they were like,
They took care of that.
Kill them. And so they were on the lawn, dead, trying to leave, not knowing what's going on. And then the rest of them didn't know what was going on. But the thing to me was listening at the police officer who went in there and saw everything. And he said it was the most gruesome scene he has ever seen in his life. I mean, he said blood was all over everywhere, the walls, everything. And he said he saw the Sharon Tate. This was like a quote where he said she was like the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. He said, and I saw her movie. He said, and going in there and actually seeing her in the home, he said, and she was still beautiful. He's like, but she was there cut up. She was 8 months pregnant. And he said it was, the fetus was like cut out of her body.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean,
did they find the fetus?
The fetus was there by her.
Oh, okay. Oh God.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm like, this is stuff that, could you imagine walking in and seeing something like that? I couldn't. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. These 3 chicks plus a guy sitting around a campfire listening to this asshole, spew biblical proportions and all that stuff, and getting to their minds.
Yeah, and
I think he ordered them to go to this lady's house.
Yeah. I think didn't he claim he was like Jesus Christ too?
But what if? Here's another scenario. What if he was just, because every interview I've ever seen of him, he's so super animated. He's actually entertaining to listen to. You can't watch an interview with Charles Manson and not be glued to it because he's so out there. The dude is obviously very smart, very intelligent, but he's spastic. Like he's all over the place.
Yeah, he is.
He's all over the place, but he makes sense. So nothing it's not just gibberish that he's spitting out.
Right.
Like he's making sense. But what if he was just like, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I will anyway. But what if he was just like the one kind of getting everybody? He was the hype man, getting everybody excited.
Yeah.
But what if one of the other people that actually did the murders were the ones that, like, once Charles left, they were like, you know what? He's got a point. Let's go do this. What if somebody else was actually the one that they kind of
I see what you're saying.
Picked them up. Like he was saying we should rid the people of that person and then that person and that person, and then he left, and then they were like, you know what? Let's go do this because of what I'm saying now, not because of what he just said.
Well, no, because see,
you see what he's saying.
I see what you're saying,
Yeah,
but
I might not be wording it right, but I think you're on the same page.
No, I see what you're saying.
What if he was a hype man? He got him. He got a fire. He was
He's
a pep
Flavor
squad
Flav with the big ass cock on his damn.
No. Let's don't bring Flavor Flav into this. But what if he was the hype man? Got everybody excited. He was the pep squad. He was a cheerleader. And then he left, and then they were fired up and said, we need to go find somebody. And it doesn't matter if it's the same person that he just said we should go find. What if they had a completely different agenda than what he did? He got them fired up.
I see exactly what you're saying.
I'm totally wrong, but
I see that.
But that could be plausible. It really could.
Well, I always try to look at something from the outside.
It could be plausible.
Think about it. 3 females and 1 guy.
I need one at a time.
That one guy could say, hey, he could have took over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What that could be plausible.
Or the one girl, the one that just got out.
That could be plausible, except you have the ones who actually did the killing said, Charlie told us, go to this house, go to this address.
But if I do something really, really bad and I get caught, the first thing I'm going to do is not blame myself, not take responsibility for it. I'm going to put it off on somebody else. I'm playing devil's advocate. Am I looking from the wrong side? But I'm just saying, is it possible that they did that? That they said, we don't want to take responsibility. We're going to put it off on this other guy that got us fired up. If he actually even did.
That could be. I mean, it's
all plausible. It's all possible.
We're just looking at it from different angles, but I'm just saying, like, could it be possible if somebody got me fired up, if somebody was talking to me and got me like, and I'm like, oh yeah, you got me excited, and then you leave, I'm still excited. I can't just come down from that excitement, especially back in the '60s. We're smoking and they're taking pills and whatever. They're going oh don't take that one, man. But they're doing this stuff. Who knows?
You took the most acid I've ever seen. Mellow well, man. Mellow out.
No. I see where you come from.
I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I'm just looking at it. I'm trying to look at it from a different perspective. Not taking Charles Manson's side in any way whatsoever, but I am saying, what if this group of people that did the murders had a completely different agenda than what Charles Manson did?
You see what he's trying to say?
I don't know the details, and maybe he even acknowledged that he orchestrated everything. I don't know that part.
Well,
That's possible. But I'm just saying that from the outside looking in, from somebody who was born 10 years after all this stuff happened, is it possible that these guys said, I like his ideas, but I want to go a different direction?
I don't think Manson should have been in jail. I really don't.
You don't think he should be in jail?
Nope.
Well, I'll disagree.
The man,
I disagree.
the
I'll disagree with
man
that part.
was by fire putting orders into these teenagers' heads. He didn't do anything.
No, but he
put the plan in, but he physically was not there.
Because you don't think on the second night he was there. He helped tie the people up.
He wasn't there.
Okay,
on the second night he was there.
The hell if he was?
There's a detail I didn't know.
On the second night. Second night he was there.
He's teaching me something because I didn't know he was on the second night.
The second night at the La Bianca's house.
At the La Bianca's house. I had no clue that Manson was there.
He was. He helped tie him up, but he told him, he was like, all we're going to do is rob you. I'm going to tie you up.
Okay.
He tied him up, and then he left.
There you go.
He left and instructed his
to just rob him.
To go. No, he instructed them to
come back and kill him.
Yeah, kill him.
Okay.
Kill him.
I didn't know that.
And he said, make it.
Manson deserves to be in prison.
He said, make it as
he's not in prison anymore.
Gruesome as it can be. Now,
who said? But hold on. But that information. Where did you get that information? Who said? Did Charles Manson say, "I told them to make it as gruesome as they could be," or did one of them say he told us?
One of them said that.
Okay, that goes back to my point I just said. Were there two different agendas going on?
That's right. I didn't
know that.
Did one just freak out and he was just a crazy guy high on drugs or whatever saying and kill him? Or when he said that, did the rest of them go, did you hear that? He said, make it as gruesome as possible.
No.
Where's the line?
Charles Manson has always stated he has never taken claim for any of the deaths.
Well, of course not.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can only go by what he says, and then you can go by what the people who actually did the killing said. And the people who did the killing say, Charles Manson orchestrated us to go out and start this race war by killing white people and kill them in the worst fashion we can do.
But that's still
that's their opinion. That's what they say.
But is there evidence of Charles Manson saying, I told them to make it this way, to make it a race war, to make it this way?
The only evidence is
second that.
The only evidence is from the people who actually did the killing.
Right. From the younger people.
Who say that.
The followers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I said from the beginning, I am not defending Charles Manson in any way whatsoever.
Me either.
However, I am curious if there was a difference between his views and their views. That's all.
Because
I don't know all the evidence, so I could be completely wrong, but I'm curious.
Charles Manson always claimed he was almost like Jesus-like. So, and he might have been saying it's a following, and and I think I've seen an interview with Charles Manson that said, I didn't orchestrate any of the killings,
Well, of course, He's going to say he had nothing to do with it, nothing at all. And there'll be times he said, I don't even know these people.
Yeah.
And then there'll be times also he'll come back and say, well, I told him to do this and this and this, and they followed by whatever every step except for this.
Charles Manson could be innocent in the killings? I don't know. But, I mean, based off of court documents and what we know, I think he orchestrated it, and he had these young people who followed him and orchestrated.
He had young people that were easily influenced.
Yeah. Well, it was young women.
Which, well, and the guy.
Yep. Yeah, Tex.
Tex, yeah.
Tex.
Let's not forget Tex there.
Who's still in prison.
Is
the one woman.
Well, the woman just got out. Who was like year. Then she was the one that I was talking about was like the face.
Van Houten, I think her name
Van Halen. Yeah, I remember.
Van Halen.
Van Houten,
All right.
I think her
Hey,
name
before
was.
we go, Chris, do you know where Charles Manson is right now?
He is in Fort Leavenworth Cemetery.
God, that was great. I mean, it's not right, but it's great. That's a great answer.
It was somebody's cemetery. It's in.
No, he was cremated.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Who was his next of kin?
It doesn't matter. He was cremated.
Marilyn?
No. Yeah, Marilyn guy. No, Ryan.
Was that what?
Ryan Almighty and fellow artist Terry Barr, who specializes in sculpting shrunken heads, recently joined forces to create Manson art. They used Charles Manson's hair and cremated remains in a new exotic piece of art that looks eerily similar to the famous mass murderer.
That's weird.
So who was who was responsible for him to be cremated?
I think it was like his. Was it like some grandson or?
It had to be next of kin.
No, it was like a nephew or something that didn't even.
Kin. It's always next of kin.
I feel like there was a story that was like he wasn't even. They never even met.
I'm sure it was Marsha off of the.
Oh, there was another blood painting that was done with his ashes.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, his ashes have been going everywhere.
That's where the tornado from last week came from.
this is from this is from TMZ. It says a creepy Charles Manson painting made with the artist's blood. The artist, not Charles Manson, is blah 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 blah. He created this painting using his own blood and was able to obtain some of Manson's ashes from someone who attended the spreading of them.
I wonder who that was.
That's kind of wild.
Hey. Before we end up, there's been a couple famous bands who have used
Manson's name.
Well, no, not his name, but either something to do with Charles Manson.
Well, name a few.
Guns N' Roses.
Whoa. So what song?
Axl Rose actually recorded a song that Charles Manson wrote.
Oh yeah,
it was on.
I forgot about that.
I had no clue about that.
It was on the Spaghetti Incident, the album in '93 that Guns N' Roses did a cover of. It was like a album of all their favorite covers, and it's the song's not listed on the liner notes. It's if you listen to the whole album, at the end of the album, the song comes on and plays, and it's a song that Charles Manson wrote, and Axl Rose recorded it and played it.
I got to listen to that.
I'd forgotten that until you said that.
Yep. On the Spaghetti Incident. So if anybody has the Spaghetti Incident album, listen to after the last song, let it play, let it keep playing, and that song will come on. It's just Axl Rose. I think he recorded it with acoustic, and it's a song that Charles Manson wrote.
Anything else?
There is something else.
Give it to us.
Yep. And I didn't know this until I was just doing some research earlier today. The Tate, Shannon Tate.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon Tate, excuse me. Her home address. Do you know that Trent Reznor went there to record the Downward Spiral?
No.
Because of the murders.
Wait, who bought the door of that address? Or of that house?
I don't know.
When they remodeled the house, that door is somewhere, and I'm going to look it up now because I just remembered.
But okay, well, you look it up. Trent Reznor with 9 Inch Nails, the 1994 album, the Downward Spiral, he had a makeshift studio. He went into the home where the murders took place, and he recorded the Downward Spiral
That must
album.
where Studio 666 got their idea from.
Yeah, it might be.
Hey, the front door to the Sharon Tate house was sold at an auction for $127,000.
I'd have bought it
I know you would have.
and put it on my trailer house.
I know you would have. I wonder if I feel like I know who bought that door, and it wasn't Garth Brooks to hide the bodies. It was somebody else. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look this up.
That seems like something that
You know about-
that seems like something Rob Zombie would buy.
Exactly.
I wouldn't auction for $127,000. Blah blah blah. I guess it doesn't say. You're not gonna believe this. 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor recorded an album. Hold on, wait.
That's what I just said.
I thought it was gonna say. Yeah, I thought it was gonna say that he bought the door, but no, it just says that he recorded an album. In the Cielo Drive house in 1992. No, it doesn't say that. No, it went to Julian's Auctions, but anyway, I just assumed that Garth Brooks would buy it and he would use that to cover up the bodies, but maybe not. Oh,
For
you don't?
real?
You don't know about this?
I don't know
No,
nothing about it.
I don't.
All right, we go off the air. Google Garth Brooks. Where are the bodies? Trust me. All right, Chris, take us out.
All right. That was a great show. Give me some music. Shut up, Scott.
That's right. I'm leaving you with that. Garth Brooks. Where are the bodies?
We had a great show tonight here at the Guillotines and Guitar Studio here in Hartsville, South Carolina.
Yeah, we
was
did.
talking about guitars. We was talking about Randy Travis's AI song, and then we was talking
a lot
about
of stuff.
we was talking about guillotines. We was talking about Charles Manson.
Yeah.
So go on our website, check us out, check out both episodes.
Chris, wrong camera. That one.
Check out both episodes. Thank you.
All right, back over here.
That one.
Oh, check out both episodes on YouTube.
All right, Chris, the other side.
We're talking about iHeartRadios, all the Pandoras,
All right, and my camera.
and
Keep talking. And Scott.
Yep, my camera. Right here.
Chris, that camera.
All right. This is Guillotines and Guitars, and we're out.